Flames Vanilla Tweaks, Update 1.5. That's right, it's time for another update yet again. It's been not that long, to be honest. It's just the fact that my upload schedule does not exist. But, you know, whatever. It's Texture Pack time, Update 1.5. We have a lot of stuff in this update, so I'm gonna be quick. Not really. First change. Farmland, the farmland. The first change is that farmland has a new texture where the land is now wider. So as you can see, the little lines and stuff are wider. It just looks better. That way, whenever you have something planted, it looks like it's actually in a row instead of having multiple rows at once. Also, tick speed is up, that's why that happens so fast. Next change. Yet again, I have changed the brick textures for granite, andesite, and diorite. This is probably the final change. I don't think I have a reason to change these anymore, but I really like where these going, and it doesn't look that weird anymore. I mean, the last update, I kind of had a bit of a weird change, so I just fixed it up and made it look better, gave it a little bit of the polished look, and it is now brand spanking new. Next change, we got the donkey, mule, and llama. As you can see, the chest, originally, the chest texture, I don't think it was changed. It either wasn't changed or it wasn't changed for all of them, but now the chest texture is on every single variant that can have a chest on them. Next up, all the stone brick textures have been made back to their original coloring because something that's happening eventually. Anyway, as you can see, the coloring is different for all of these. Well, they're not different. They're back to vanilla Minecraft. Originally, they were darker, so I changed them back to lighter. This will come back later. Anyway, the armor stand. I honestly don't remember what I changed about the armor stand. Oh yeah, I remember now. For some reason, the armor stand was the, like, classic texture for armor stand. So I changed it to the more modern texture of armor stand, so it looks better, you know? And yep, that's this change. It's great. Next up, piglins. Well, zombified piglins, they now have their normal texture. I finally figured out what was bugging out my texture pack to make these guys not have the right texture, so he's fixed. Also, oh no, he's not gone. Also, this guy has been changed to be perfectly fine as well. I don't exactly remember what was wrong with him, but something was wrong with him anyway. Next up, we have the Iron Golem. The Iron Golem has been changed. First of all, the eyes are different, and the Iron Golem's texture is now lighter, so it matches the new iron texture. I actually don't remember if I changed that or not. But the thing that I know that I changed is the eyes, so they don't look extremely green now. Next up is the brick texture. As you can see here, the little grout, I think it's called grout, I don't remember, the lines in between the bricks are now darker. And also, I added this new red brick variant. Wow, I can't speak. There's a new red brick texture to go along with all the other bricks, so now you have a little bit more variation to your bricks whenever you're building. Next up, we have all of the leather textures. All this stuff is all related to the same thing. First up, we have the leather texture. It is now darker to match almost everything else that is leather. The armor stand texture is now darker, so is the glowing armor, the glowing item frame. I said armor stand, didn't I? The item frame texture is now lighter, just like the item frame, and the glowing one. The saddle is now darker. I said lighter. The saddle is now darker, along with the saddle on the pig, saddle on the strider. Also, these guys are fixed. I'm really glad they're fixed. I really like seeing them normally instead of the zombie pigman. And finally, the Ravager's saddle is darker. Well, not finally, actually, there's still a lot. Not only that, crafting tables now have darker on the top. And darker metal. So now the crafting table is now fully my texture. It's mine. Next up, the spyglass also has the darker leather and it's copper. I don't remember if I mentioned that. Whatever. And also the leather horse armor is now the darker texture as well. Next up we have furnaces. And this isn't really a change that's like big. It's just that the animated texture is now fixed up a bit. If I can find, where's iron? There it is. I didn't even grab it, what? Okay. The animated texture has now been fixed up a bit. I like it, it looks nice. Anyway, we have the fire texture. I don't remember what's different with the fire texture. Yeah, I don't remember what I did with the fire texture, but The torch now matches with the fire and is animated. The redstone torch now has a new texture, being red instead of just the normal torch texture. The lantern has a new texture, being animated, and, you know, it looks all fancy. Also the new torch texture. And then next up, Soulfire. Soulfire has been completely revamped. As you guys know, Soulfire is normally white in my texture pack, but I changed it to be back to blue, but the new fire texture. So this, honestly, all looks amazing. And if I put on these Soul Speed boots and turn around to this Soul Sand that magically appeared, as you can see by the particles, if you look closely, they have been changed as well to match the new Soulfire texture. And I really like this change. It's pretty subtle, but I'm all about that. I'm all about that subtle stuff, you know? You gotta make sure it's an appeal for everyone, you know? Next up, all the moss stuff has been changed. It's completely revamped. As you can see here, moss bricks have been completely changed, and they have new random textures. That line is annoying me. I'm gonna fix that. It's not gonna be fixed in the update, but I'm gonna fix it eventually. Next up, Mossy Cobblestone has been changed completely and has random textures. And finally, Glow Lichen. As you guys remember, in my previous update, I changed Glow Lichen to be lighter. Well, to be more on the green side, which I liked, and from what I have gotten from people, most people liked. But I decided to change it to the moss texture, so whenever you have an inside of moss, it matches, and also looks like there's little, like, specks on the moss. I like it. It looks cool. Anyway, next up, we have the Podzol. As you can see, Podzol has the new moss rocks in it, so you can see a couple of things like that. And also, there are some more variants of them, I think. I don't actually remember. I haven't worked on this version of the texture pack for a while, as you can probably tell. Anyway, Elytra has new textures. Well, not the actual Elytra. If I took off my cape, you would see the texture, and it's exactly the same as it normally has been. But the broken texture and the normal texture, this is actually normal, it just doesn't appear to be, is now different. It matches the fact that the Elytra on the actual texture has the bone part of the wing on the outside, not the inside. Not sure why I was like that, but, you know, we don't talk about that. Next up, we have the flowering azalea leaves. As you can see, they're random. The little flowering azalea parts are now more random, and can be less, there can be more. There's a chance for there to be 5, just like here, and I really enjoy this change. I like it. Anyway, this is probably one of my favorite changes. As you probably saw in the Minecraft survival video that came out a while ago, glowberries have random textures now. As you can see, there can be this lighter yellow texture, the normal texture, and there can be random. It's a chance to get all light yellow. And there's a very, very, very rare chance you can get pink. Just like how there's a very, very, very rare chance to get the rainbow berry somewhere down there, you'd have a very, very, very rare chance to get the pink glowberries. I really like that change. It's my favorite. Next up, we got all the logs. As you can see, the log parts have been rounded off on the parts where the rings are. And I changed them up a bit, and they look good now. Next up, you may have remembered I said that was my favorite change. I lied. Although I do like that change a lot, this one, actually that one over there is probably my favorite, but this one is one of my favorites. As you can see here, as you know, we have stone bricks and we have stone brick slabs. As you guys know, there is a little mechanic in Minecraft where if you double stone slab things, or double slab anything, it's actually classified as a different texture. So I use that ability to make double slabbed wooden slabs sideways, so you can use them for pillars and stuff. So I decided to do that for stone brick slabs and make little smaller bricks that match with the bricks, you know, the other ones. I like this texture. You can use it for detailing, you can use it for also pillars if you really wanted to. And it took a while for me to get this texture to be perfect. I'm probably going to be altering it a bit more, but who cares for now. Next up is copper. As I did with this, I made wax copper do exactly the same. Wax copper now, well, copper in general, the specifically cut copper, has this new double slab texture that resembles the original texture for copper. I really like this texture. It has a new top texture as well to match, and it has new side textures, has little bolts in them, and this is new for each variant of the copper, and I enjoy this a lot. Next up, we have azalea bushes. As you can see, the bushes are now transparent, including in the flower pot. This is a pretty minor change, but you know, I like it, it's nice. Next up, we have TNT. As you can see, it's in a barrel now. We got barrel TNT. You might have seen this in a couple of my videos, but we got barrel TNT now, and that's now out for all of you to explode. As you can see here, we have it in a little detailed area. It matches with normal barrels almost perfectly. Also, fun fact, if you hold down right click before you click on anything and just hover over a barrel, it just opens. Not exactly sure why, but you can see the difference there now. Anyway,
This.
coarse dirt slabs are in my texture pack. As you guys probably remember a really long time ago, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but coarse dirt slabs have been in my texture pack since, like, I released it. I just haven't really done anything with it, but now the coarse dirt slabs, if you have been using them, have been changed to have the random textures. And as you can see, that's the command you use to give it to you. I'm gonna show you right now, /give at p stone _ slab 1 2. And as you can see, it gave me a little coarse dirt slab, did a little bounce thing, bap, and it gives you one. As you can see, it's good, it can be, whoa, what the fuck did I just say? As you can see, it can be pretty good use for building things and making paths, you know, just in case you don't want to use the wooden slab to match with the path, with the dirt path. Why is it called a dirt path now? Just in case you don't want to use oak slabs to match with the dirt path, apparently. Also, these have random textures. I don't know if I mentioned that. Whatever. If you don't use oak slabs to match with that, you can use coarse dirt slabs to match with coarse dirt. There isn't a crafting recipe for this, but I have a resource pack that actually adds a crafting recipe.
I'm not gonna give it to you though, that's just for me.
And finally, we have all the minor changes with the textures. As you can see, painting texture has been changed to match the item frame texture. There isn't anything different with the actual painting, but the item texture now matches item frames on how, you know, they have this new texture where it's just a little square. Next up, sticks. They now have leaves sticking out of them. This is going to be a speed run, by the way. Sticks. They now have leaves sticking out of them, including all of the wooden tools now have leaves. Stone tools now have better ropage and now have the little twigs sticking out of them, depending on which one they are. Totems of Undying now have better wings, as you guys probably didn't know. These are actually wings, so fun fact, those are wings. Boat textures now all have the new ore textures to match with the boat. Leather helmets, gold helmets, and diamond helmets now have the little lip on them that for some reason they don't have on the item on your helmet. And then finally, oh, not actually finally, turtle helmets now have the little strap on them, so you can tell that they have a strap when you turn them on. Well, turn them on when you put it on. As you can see on the side of my head, there's a little bit of a strap there. I don't know if you can see it, but whatever. And now, actually finally, water bottles not only have been changed to be the darker water texture that my texture pack already has, as you can see if I place some water down, water is darker in my texture pack, but the little top parts of each one now have the new leather texture. I haven't actually done this with all of the potion bottles, but eventually I will be doing that. It's going to take a while because I have to individually change all of them. I can probably make something to do that for me, but I don't know how to do that. So anyways, that's going to be the end of the texture pack video. As you guys know, download down the description, fully updated. It's if you go into any of my past videos, it's going to be the older versions, but if you download it from this video, it'll be the newest version. So go ahead and download it if you want. If you don't, I do not care.